All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Haiku, music maker, investor ish type of person here. Making another video kind of based off just some observations. It's been a long year, a very, very long year. And as you guys know, kind of following me, you probably noticed I haven't really put out a lot of crypto videos, a lot of investment type videos. I really haven't put out a lot, but I have been active on Twitter Space a lot. So if you really are following me there, you can follow me on Twitter. I post a lot. I post new music, ideas for music, different ideas. Of course, of what I think is going on within the community, how I feel, and really these videos as they move forward, and I think as we're going through the next few years, I've been trying to really think about, where can I fall in this space? I started in this space with a coin called SHIB, if you've heard of it. Never knew anything about crypto. Said a prayer one day, happened to fall into this coin. It did a crazy rise up, and the rest is history. I discovered Catgirl. I was really heavy into the Catgirl community and was a part of a pump that went up, had an unrealized gain for 6 figures, which you can verify. This all on my Twitter account. The photos are there. It's in my vlog videos for this whole trading fiasco situation I find myself in. And pretty much took a big hit. And I mean, I've been in for about a year, almost coming up on a year and a little bit over that, because I started in crypto last year, October. So just around the precipice of the drop. And I tell you what, it has been a very, very long and hard and heart gut wrenching year for me. It has not been the best of times, but it hasn't been quite the worst of times. So the experience is teaching me a lot. So I really don't like to make videos now because I know when Catgirl was at its height, I was so hyped up about it. Of course, I've never had an experience like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people took my advice. And although I thought I had good advice at the time, it ended up being bad advice because probably, a lot of people probably got wrecked off of that particular coin. Now, I'm not paid to influence. I'm not paid to shill or anything like that. But I do understand that in this space, you can put yourself in a position to where if you're doing trading and you're doing advice, depending on around the time somebody actually listens to your advice, it can be really bad because, they may not listen to it at the right time. They may jump into that video you put up 2, 3, 4 months later and then ultimately get wrecked or destroyed, not because you want them to, just because the information is just not sudden. So I think moving next in the crypto space, my whole goal is not even going to be to provide, I want to say, like, I'm not going to be up here shilling and being like, you should buy Jackamoon coin or Dingo Puppy Inu or whatever the heck they decide to come out with, or what existed, which they're all gone. Crypto Messiah, Cheems, all those crap coins are gone. Of course, in the light of FTX and new regulation, we're in a whole new world. A whole new ball game that when this market starts to go forward, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. A lot more KYC, a lot more government intervention, a lot more control. So I'm trying to figure out, where do I want to be in this space? I want to be a voice of reason. I want to try to lead people maybe in a better direction. Okay. But disclaimer with that, it may not be that my direction is your best direction, but maybe my wisdom or so might help you in your direction of choice. There are much smarter people out there that are smarter than me. There are much more people out there that are richer than me. There are more people out there that are more successful than me in this. And this is kind of a vlog for myself, just to capture the moment for myself from a historical point, whether it works or whether it doesn't. So with that being said, title of the video I had is really just my unbiased view of Hex and the Zen token. Okay, notes there. I'll go over those in a second. So, TA, I used to be big on it. If you look at my prior videos, had a lot of lines, had a lot of points. I'm still see these lines and points from the past that I've had. They mean absolutely nothing right now. So I'm looking at the market from a psychological perspective, okay? And right now, if you're watching this video, date of November 23rd, 2022, we're in the bear market. The Fed, of course, has increased rates, although the S&P 500 has been quite bullish lately. As well as with that, the dollar was on a pretty substantial run and is down a bit. So the Fed is increasing rates. They're trying to control inflation. Everybody right now is trying to figure out where the bottom of the market is. Of course, myself, when I think the bottom is in, the bottom is not in. And I think on a realistic perspective, nobody knows like when the bottom of the market is in. But we're in a unique situation. So where does Hex in my mind fall into all this? I will say this about Hex. Hex is a coin that has a very strong community. Hex is a coin that has a fairly large market cap, a lot of money in that coin, a lot of money locked up in that coin. But my only concern about the coin is the founder, Richard Hart. Now, keep in mind, Hex by itself is immutable. It's its own code. If Richard Hart were to kill over and die, it would still run. It would still go. But the problem is, I believe the success, of Hex, Pulse, and Pulsechain, which is coming, is going to be pendant upon Richard Hart's ability to be right. Because if he's ever wrong, it's going to tarnish his reputation, not only his reputation, but the reputation of all of his projects. So there's that biblical undertone scripture of haughtiness and pride before the fall. And I think that's the thing that concerns me about Hex, is that if Richard Hart is wrong, which if you go on Twitter, there's the hashtag Richard Hart was right. And to his point, out of the videos that I've watched and I've seen, he's been right. It's like I've come in at the end of the blow off top, the end of the cycle. He was right about FTX. He was right about Almeida. He was right about a lot of different projects that have totally ate it so far. But my concern about Hex is the fact that if he's ever wrong as an individual, we could be in trouble. Ultimately, the product could be good, product could be awesome, but it would suffer on account of him being wrong about something. So that's the only thing I'm going to say about that. Other than that, I do like the project. I'm still in this project. I'm still staked in this project. I think I did a video about this many moons ago where I said I could totally see the price of this project being worth 500. I was super bullish at that point. At this point, I really feel like it is for me, I feel like your convictions should lead you to where you want to invest your money. That's all this represents. Psychologically, all these projects represent conviction from people who believe in the project. So if you believe in the project and it's something that you want to do, by all means, you should be subject to that conviction, but do it in a responsible way. I would not sell my house to mortgage for Hex, but I would, personally, I would put a couple thousand if I could. Or I'd put some in Hex because I do feel that the protocol itself is pretty good. And it also helps that Mark Cuban is following Richard Hart. So that's kind of cool too. But that's just kind of my general thoughts on Hex. General thoughts on Zen. And lo and behold, of this not being a video to ultimately FUD Zen, but again, I'm being observant. I'm trying not to look at this from a TA perspective because the TA perspective is garbage. Not that it's not garbage. Think of it like a weatherman, okay? Weatherman can say it's going to be sunny. The next day it rains. He could say it's going to rain. The next day it's sunny. He can say it's going to snow. The next day it's icy. And we've known weathermen to be completely wrong. Why? Because nature is unpredictable. There is an unpredictable component to the market that you cannot ignore. Like, you have to heed it. You have to understand it. You have to accept it. In this particular case, you can see by my notes, if you haven't paused or already read my notes, I've been following Zen protocol. Okay. My thoughts on Zen, unbiased. And I don't like it. One, because the way that it launched, everybody says it's free. Great. It's free for you, and it's also free for the 36,000 or so holders, okay, that have this on decentralized in their wallets, okay? But the people who got destroyed by Zen, and I think this is why so many Hexicans loathe it or don't like it, are the people that actually bought Zen from the exchange. So for everyone who actually minted wallets on day one and had bots and has time in their life to do that, to arbitrage the price, as Jack Levin talks about game theory, they made their money, but then they took that Zen that they created and they sold it on the exchange to people who knew probably little to nothing about crypto. And when they bought into the price of Zen, they became exit liquidity for a whole bunch of arbitrage. So tons and tons of retail traders got wrecked. Their money, their $1,000, their $40,000, and you can argue and say, well, they could have got it for free. They could have sacrificed their wallet. I'm talking about the people that frequent on the exchanges of Huobi 10, Gate.io, Merc, or Mex, which this exchange is. These are people that probably have no idea what a MetaMask wallet is. They're just on the exchange. The exchange puts it in front of them. Ooh, it's new. It's a new project. I want to be first. What happens? They get completely wrecked. Okay? And that's not good. I don't care if it does have the first principles of crypto assigned to it. The fact that you wrecked people's lives to get it out there just doesn't sit right with me, and it didn't sit right with a lot of people. Okay? Now, with that being said, did I go in and spend gas to get a certain number of tokens in Zen? Yes, I did. I did go out and pay $5 in gas for 27 million whatever tokens on only 2 chains to participate in it. But the fact is, people were still hurt massively by the project. Did I arbitrage the price and sell it to the exchange and do one-day mints? No, I did not. My mint, of course, was 365 days long, and the mint on Binance is like 444 days long or whatever. So what has been happening with Zen lately? Again, I don't like the fact that they take advantage of the retail. So around this time frame, October, I made out a little tweet on my Twitter account, and I said something to the effect of, man, Zen has gone up like, we're going to ignore the fact that like Zen has gone up 100%. I'm scrolling through. I'm not going to find it. Oh, forget it. I'm not going to find it. Anyway, I said Zen has gone up like 100%. So I've been kind of tracking. I was trying to figure out why the heck did it go up so high? Like why? What's affecting it from a psychological level? Because if you look at this and you paint a bullish flag, bullish flag, you're going to buy right here. You're going to buy here. People are going to buy. If you don't understand Zen and you're just looking at the price chart and you're in retail, you're going to buy. So what happened around this time frame, institutional buying by Huobi, Mex, Gate.io. Matter of fact, I have my time clips. And from time clip, basically, this is the date of when Gate.io essentially, when Merc and Huobi kind of bought into the exchange. You can see they are the top 2 holders. $500,000 here. Mex bought in. So these 2 players came in, pumped in almost about $700,000 plus worth of price. Okay? You pump in that much price, it causes the price to pump. It pushes FOMO. It gets people to buy. Price went all the way up. And what happened on the exchanges? Okay, the exchange is going to sell that equity to retail traders who bought the top, and as price went down, began to get wrecked. And they got wrecked to the point of almost 99%. So what happened here on November the 22nd? Again, must I pull up the receipts? I don't want to pull that up. I want to see what that is. I don't even use that. So around this time frame, Gate.io jumps into the game. They add in another $485,000 worth of purchase. They're now the top 3rd, okay, along with these 2. And that causes another pump here. Okay? So if you think about it, and we're thinking chess, Okay, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I'm thinking of chess and I'm playing a long game of chess. That was the perfect place to buy in regards to retail who are watching the chart and just got wrecked 99%. Because you know what they did at this point? We need to sell. This thing's going to zero. I need to get out. I've lost 90%, 99% already. Who the heck cares about it? People forgot about have forgotten about their stakes. They were walking away from the game. And here comes Gate.io. Boom. My mind, I just feel that's just going to drive more FOMO, more people to buy in. What happens from here? I don't know. That's weatherman perspective. You could say the same thing could happen here. You're going to get a lot of people to buy in. Oh, man, it went down 99%. I lost. Oh, my gosh, it's going back up again. I need to buy again. But if Gate.io, by accumulation, of course, you can see here, let me pull up this other picture I got. 488 or 85. Prices kind of dipped now. Now they're the top three. Okay. I get the argument for not for Gate, but for Zen. You want to be decentralized. You want to be off the exchanges. Get it 100%. But how can we be ultimately decentralized if out of the gate, 3 different exchanges own almost 30% of the market cap share of Zen, and they can go in with their hundreds and thousands of dollars and completely, ultimately, just manipulate the price how they want to. Nobody's talking about that. They're just saying Zen is the best thing. It's everywhere. Anybody can buy it. Last time I checked, when Bitcoin came out, I don't recall any exchanges going and buying it all up when it first started and you can mine it on your laptop for free. I don't. I failed with Bitcoin because someone essentially told me they wanted to do an investment. I invested with them. They stole their money from me. And I said, well, he told me about Bitcoin. If he stole my money, then Bitcoin's bad. And I totally shamed Bitcoin for the rest of my life till I found out it was worth $20,000 a share, where I could have bought it at like 8 cents when I found out about it. So still kind of burned about that. But regardless, needed to happen. Was better for me, better for life. But on the same token with Zen, they're arguing it has the truest principles of crypto. It does not. Ladies and gentlemen, it's being manipulated already. And either Gate.io is going to sell what they bought to all the retail and wreck them down to zero, or they're going to push FOMO and do the same thing from the top again. I don't know. Who cares? I'm a weatherman. That's one of the reasons I don't like Zen. I don't. I mean, I could see the arguing the case for it, but people are getting manipulated from it in a bear market. The big players know it. The big players know that everybody's looking for a shiny new object because they missed out on everything else. And so that's why I feel the way I feel about Zen. So you can say I'm not trying to FUD. Unbiasedly, like I told you, I have Zen. I have Zen staked out for years. Okay. I am in it. So it's not like I'm not in Zen, but I'm in it from an informed perspective versus somebody who's just kind of buying it on an exchange and getting destroyed. If you haven't figured it out by now, by looking at FTX, looking at all these other projects, if you do not have a wallet, if you do not own your own keys, whether cold or hot, okay, if you don't have your own control, you are at the mercy of middlemen who do not care about you and only care about making fees. The only reason these top 3 exchanges would purchase, let me just make this a little bigger so you can see. Top 3 exchanges. The only reason these top 3 exchanges would buy Zen is because they know something we don't. Okay? They're playing chess. I myself am playing checkers. I'm not a chess player. I'm a pawn on the board. I know where I am. I know where I stand. I'm trying to get to the end of the board. These guys are playing chess. They're kings. They know the game. They've been playing the game inside and out. And they've positioned themselves in Zen to basically be the market maker. Basically. Then that's all I can say. That's all I can say about it. That's all I know. So if you're going to mess with Zen, I ask that you do your own research and be fully informed about what you're messing with. The one thing I would say also, hey, don't buy it on retail. But I don't want to say that because you might be coming to this video 2 years from now when it might be a good time to actually buy it. Because the other thing that I don't like about it is it's pushing ETH fees up. It's making the fees higher, okay? I don't like that for Pulsechain, and I don't like it for other chains, because what happens if the ETH fee is so high in the future when you go to cash out or get your coins that you can't afford to pay the ETH to get the coins? Ultimately, what is set in the mint as far as them trying to mimic Hex are the coins that are basically not in circulation. So if you go to get those coins, whether you spent 5 on ETH and then you go to get it, oh no, it's $500 in ETH, or it's $1,000 in ETH to get this thing to mint these coins, and you don't have it, those coins basically get burned out of circulation like they never existed. Okay? That's good for price, but that's bad for people who thought they were getting it for free. Technically, it's not free, because when you go to mint it, you have to pay something to mint it. It's not like it's just going to be free. And I think we've seen a little bit of that recently. People forgot about their stakes, their 1 day, however long they staked here recently, and a lot of it just basically never existed, got burned. It's good for price, but it's bad for people who are trying to get in. So if this runs on Pulsechain, if you don't have PLSX, which is going to be like the Uniswap for Pulsechain, you're kind of going to be screwed in a way, because your fees are going to go higher, and Pulsechain is all about low fees. But my hope is there's a voting mechanism within that project or within that world, okay? If I can pull this over, I will show it to you. Again, I apologize. My videos go a little long, but I don't like to make videos unless I actually have something to say that might help somebody or might be good. So within Pulse here, this is the testnet. This is not real, okay? There's a voting mechanism, and you can have your say in the future of the PulseX ecosystem. So I believe there's different proposals. You can vote. I don't know if the community would have to vote for something like Zen coming to Pulse, but I don't want it there personally, because I know, yes, my PLSX, my bag that I would be holding, is going to reap the benefits of being worth more if the fees continue to go higher, okay? But for the people that want to start with low fees that don't have a lot of capital, that's bad. In the long run, that's going to be bad. And I don't want to be a part of that. So I really hope it doesn't come to Pulsechain. I hope it stays away. But I digress. It's probably coming to Pulsechain if Pulsechain ever comes out. It's like a virus. Zen really is like a virus. And it spreads. It's spreading like wildfire. But the top players, the chess players, the exchanges, they've already figured out how to manipulate it, and they're doing it. They're doing it liberally. They are wrecking people. So that's all I have to say about that. 22 minutes into the video so far. I thank you for staying and listening to me go on and talk, and I really hope this has been informative to you in some way, some form or fashion, that it makes sense. Some other things to look out for if you haven't. There is a new token, I believe, Texan token. There's a lot of projects coming out for PLS, okay? Now here's what I'm going to say about this, and I put a tweet on my Twitter about this. You know, what really grinds my gears, okay? There's a lot of projects out there, okay? A lot of projects, a lot of influencers that are talking, and they're releasing this stuff out on ETH before Pulsechain exists. And I feel like they're just being impatient, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about as far as Pulsechain, just Google it, go on Twitter, hear from Richard Hart himself. Don't listen to anybody else. Just go to Richard Hart. He's orchestrating the project. Listen to what he has to say about it, and then make your informed decision. Anybody else is just going to be moon boy talk and all this kind of crazy stuff, and all they want to do is make money real quick, okay? So just learn about the projects first. But what makes me mad about it is that a lot of people are releasing these tokens on ETH, okay? And it's going to be expensive because ETH fees are going to go up. The whole reason of Pulsechain was to get away from fees. So you're releasing all these tokens because you're impatient because Pulsechain hasn't launched yet. And what they don't understand, which Richard Hart really understands, and he's probably ticked off about, is that when you make a coin on another program within Uniswap, within ETH, you're taking away liquidity away from the native project, okay? Everybody's going to buy that Pulse Bitcoin. Everybody's going to buy a Pulse Dogecoin. Everybody's going to buy the crap pieces of crap that keep coming out because they want to make money now. They're impatient. But what they don't realize is they're basically stabbing themselves in the foot because, okay, you're taking liquidity away from Pulsechain. Pulsechain comes out. hey, guess what? Your coin copy is on Pulsechain. You can support it. Great. But who else new are you going to get to buy it? You already got people to buy it, right? Pulsechain comes out really successful. Anything new on that platform, let me show you. As it loads up. Anything new on that platform, us, people who have invested in Pulsechain, will be able to reap the benefits said of new token, new platform, okay? So if you go to earn, there's farms, but there's going to be pools, okay? There's going to be places where you can put in your PLSX to earn APR on tokens, okay? That's liquidity that's kept in the ecosystem. That helps you maintain the integrity of your PLSX balance, okay? I don't have PLS. I don't have the actual chain. I didn't get to sacrifice for that. So I'm thinking of what I can do with my PLSX. All these stupid coins that keep coming out, without this existing, you're just taking away liquidity from the main program because you're greedy. You want to make money now. You want to use everybody's FOMO on Pulsechain to try to make a quick buck. But you're not going to make anything. I mean, you're making money now, but what's going to happen is you're going to get left out when newer projects and better projects start coming out on the actual native platform, designed on the actual native platform itself, and people start putting their money and liquidity towards those projects. Those other projects are just going to die out. They're going to die out. Pulse, Bitcoin, Hex, I don't understand. Hex is supposed to be replacing Bitcoin. There's going to be a copy of Hex on Pulsechain, right? So if there's going to be a copy of Hex, why do we need a Pulse Bitcoin? We don't need it. There's already Hex's name, if you go to the original videos, was Bitcoin Hex or something like that. Richard Hart made it for people who were in Bitcoin because he himself did Bitcoin. And if you hear him talk, he only cares about 3 projects. He only cares about Hex, he only cares about PLS, and he only cares about PLSX. He doesn't care about anything else. The copies are going to come over. The people are going to be driven to it. The fees are going to be cheap. It's going to run great. And those 3 projects, if you are sacrificed for this and you're ready to take a part of it, those are the only projects that are going to matter. Really, honestly, in my opinion. So that's all I really have to say about that vibe. I know I was cutting close to the end of the video. I'm coming close on 30 minutes, guys. I like to talk. But even if you've been around for a year, if you're new, just keep that in mind. If you got capital, hey, we're in a bear market. There's no need for you to take your liquidity and put it in an environment that's just going to go negative anyway. And I believe, as real as Richard Hart says, Pulsechain is just not done yet. It's not like he's just sitting there like, oh, I'm just going to release it at the right time and the right moment. He's probably actually legitimately waiting till it's actually done, till it's actually finished, until it's secure. Because the thing about it is, he actually cares about people not getting wrecked, not getting their funds stolen. If you go to his earliest videos from 2019 and listen to what he has to say, he seems like a pretty cool, nice guy. I think he's the way he is now because that's the only way that people will listen, like myself, and actually not get destroyed or not get wrecked. And so he has to play this part to get people's attention. And it does. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised he's not worn out by it yet. Like he just hasn't said, forget it, I'm done. But I think he sees the bigger picture. And the few millionaires that do get it, that he can create, will actually be worth it. And I think that's how he feels about it. But you can't argue that. So really, with Pulsechain, man, the liquidity has to stay in the project. Can we stop making all these crap tokens and just save that money and capital for something that's going to be better? Because by the time, I honestly think when Pulsechain launches, it's going to be so underwhelming. People are going to be so angry. They're going to FOMO out of it. And then 5 or 10 years later, they're going to beat themselves up because they missed out. That's honestly what I think is going to happen. I think everybody's expectation is so unrealistic, and the liquidity has been moved out so much that by the time Pulsechain launches, they're going to call it crap. They're going to say it's fake. They're going to say it doesn't work. But then there's going to be us, and we're going to have those little projects that come out, and we're going to keep our PLSX on the program, and we're going to farm it, and we're going to provide liquidity. And then 5 years down the road, they're going to look at it and they'll be like, wow, Pulsechain's awesome. Everybody and their mom's going to know about it. It's going to be like the first chain that hasn't had a failure in a couple of years. are running where somebody's gone in and hacked the system and stole everybody's tokens. People are gonna realize that. People are gonna recognize that. They're tired of being manipulated. So he's creating something good. It's just the liquidity of it needs to stay where it needs to stay. So, man, I got 30 minutes in. This is a long video. I haven't made a video in a couple of months. And the only other thing I would say as far as with it, man, you know, we have to think like we have to be our own bank. You know, that's what it's all about. You look at people, how they're being affected. We know that crypto is important for that. And so this kind of gives us that opportunity to do that. And that's why I'm so passionate about, I guess, Pulsechain and these other projects. Of course, I talked about them, but on the same token, we're all striving for the same thing. And when I really think about it, why I'm into crypto now, just kind of being in it a year, you know, for me, as per se, you know, I don't need $2, $3, $4, $5, $10 million. I don't even want it. It's too much to deal with. I think every person just wants the freedom to do what they love to do, what they were made to do. Kind of like the components of traditional American democracy and freedom. Nobody wants to just work, you know, sit at a job they hate and just do it because they have to. Although we do. That's what happens. Now, do we need people to do certain jobs? Yeah. Do some people love those certain jobs? Yeah, they love them. But not everybody is designed or made for that. Everybody's got different talents. Everybody's got different goals. Everybody has got different things that they can do. And money is the barrier to that, obviously. And so I think crypto is a way for people to kind of break that gap and, you know, for better or worse, do the things that they're better at, not having to worry about the controls that are in place. But we're in a place where these controls are, you know, these things that we have are trying to be taken away. I mean, JP Morgan just patented a crypto wallet. I mean, that's bullish. I mean, you got bullish, but also, hey, what are they going to do with the crypto wallet? What do they do to Kanye with his money and his billions? You got a JP Morgan crypto wallet? Said something that wasn't nice, huh? Let's just revoke the keys on this wallet and let's black flag it. So if it moves any money anywhere we know, and we'll just black flag it everywhere else. Yeah, I mean there actually is a JP Morgan patent for a crypto wallet. They did that. You know, the big main players are coming in on this next bull market and they're playing chess. You know, everybody else from what I've seen from Twitter and I look at stuff that's outside of Hex and like NFTs and all this other crap, like they're all playing checkers and they're about to be, the board is about to be, they're thrown up in the air. Pieces are about to be thrown everywhere. And anybody else who is not getting on board are starting to think high level, like, hey, what projects are legitimate? What projects actually give me my own control? What projects go against the grain? What projects help me to be my own bank? You know, if you're not thinking like that and you're just out there to get the next buck, like these people are about to steamroll the entire market, come in with their controls, offer their bank CBDs or whatever they have just so that they can get the masses. It's for the masses. And the few of us that are left, big shout outs to BitBoy. I believe the guy that went after SBF and like exposed the whole chain. Like there are a few people, and I remember I was talking about this months ago. I was like, you guys need to take your money and start lobbying, like getting laws in place, like getting things set so that we don't get it shut down for us. You look at the government, what they're saying about FTX when it comes to crypto and all this, and they're blaming crypto when it wasn't even crypto. It was moneymakers and exchanges that were holding deposits. So they're saying that this Bitcoin is wrong. Hex, this is too risky. ETH, this is too risky. And that's not even the fact. This has nothing to do with an exchange. Anybody else who has a wallet, quote unquote, have your own keys, has nothing to worry about because it's in your wallet. Unless you went to some random site and gave somebody your keys and then, you know, did a permission and they cleaned out your USDC. But even then you could still revoke it unless they have your keys. Well, you're screwed. But in either case, you know, it's, they're going to try to shut this down. They're going to try to regulate this and use it as an excuse. But I think what they're ultimately going to realize is with so much money coming into the crypto market is they can't do that. But what they can do is they can get their controls and their mediums out there to the public because the crypto community right now can't lobby together and do it effectively. I will give this to Zen. Zen did manage to do that. Zen did manage to get on all chains, managed to get most people to recognize it. It's brilliant marketing, just bad execution. Name a coin right now, okay, that started but ended up on every chain like wildfire. There aren't many. So Zen is special in that, but bad execution. They wrecked a lot of people. A lot of people lost their livelihood behind it, which I don't agree with. But in the same token, what else has done that? So we have to start thinking that way, because if we don't start thinking that way, JP Morgan, Chase Stanley, Bank of America, all these major institutions are thinking that way, and they're going to get their message out to the masses that have their money in bank accounts, that go about their everyday life, the people that still use checkbooks, routing and account numbers, and pay checks to pay their bills, the people that are afraid of calls and paying their bills over the phone, the people that are afraid of technology. They're going to approach all these people with their nice, shiny, polished little project, and all that liquidity is going to go to these companies, and it's going to go to these entities out there. But somebody's got to be there to educate, you know. So I think that's where we need to be in an overall thought process of crypto. That's where we need to be. We need to be the second option, because some people are going to wake up out of the system. They're going to realize, man, JP Morgan just cut off my wallet. I can't pay my bills. What do I do? You know, I think the decentralized portion of crypto is going to be too big that you can't get rid of it. And it's going to have its place, but it's going to be overshadowed. Just like somebody knows about a bank account right now and how to put their money in that bank, they have no idea about what Coinbase is. They have no idea what a decentralized wallet is. They're going to know what a JP Morgan wallet is. They're going to know what a CBDC is, but they're not even, they're not going to take the time to go out and figure out, oh, I can get a wallet myself. Why? Why would you? And by the time they do figure it out, of course, it might not be possible. That might be 20, 50, 100 years down the road. Who the heck knows? I don't know. So I'm done ranting. I'm done talking. I really hope that this was maybe an eye-opening video for you if you're watching it. These are just my views as a vlogger, as an individual who's kind of navigating through this, trying to find a voice and a voice for the future, what my videos will be about. You'll notice I don't post videos every day, all the time, okay? I don't do it. It's in my mind, I feel like it's a waste of information. It's just to get clout, just to get people to like me. I don't care about people liking me. I don't care about clout. I don't care if you like this video or not. What I do care about is just the true components of what this entire thing is supposed to represent and how it's supposed to actually help people. That's all I care about, honestly. And if it grabs one or two people, hey, 2 to 5% of the people that have lots of capital and have good hearts can do a lot of good. And then again, 2% of the people who have bad hearts can do a lot of bad. They can just keep it all for themselves and just flaunt. So, I'm just out here talking about me. We'll see where I end up. So this whole year has been crazy. It's been interesting, but I'm still sticking through it. I'm still in it. And stay tuned if you found this interesting. You may get my next video when I post it. I have more things to say. It could be 2 weeks from now. It could be a month from now. I just like to think about what I have to say rather than get on and give you a false presentation of what something is. I don't want to jump on my channel anymore and be like, buy Pokey Dogecoin, it's going to 300,000%. Buy this coin, it's going to make you rich. Like, screw that. Let me look at my unbiased views. Let me look at the psychology of some of the major projects out there right now. And this is what I'm doing. And you can come in and listen. Maybe you pick up on some of these cues and maybe it helps you make some informed decisions. You don't have to buy Hex. You don't have to buy Zen. Bitcoin is a good buy. ETH is a good buy. We all know where they're going eventually. Hopefully, we hope that. Nobody can predict the future, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about my experiences, and I'm going to talk about this journey that I'm on. Otherwise, if you want to catch me anywhere else to see what I have to say, I am on Twitter. Twitter handle is haiku33. Okay. I also make dance music. That's all over my channel. You'll find it. I'm not the best dance, but personal goal is hopefully to do crypto and get to a point where I can just do my music full time. And that's really what I want to do. I mean, I love music. So, follow me there. Follow me here. I tweet almost every day. I have interaction. Again, I don't care what anybody says. You can like me, hate me, whatever the heck. I don't care. But if you're watching this video and you want to know more about, oh, what's he going to say? No, what are you doing? I'm normally on Twitter 90% of the time, posting stuff, putting stuff out. But I do wish you guys the best. And I do hope that each and every single one of you watching this video finds your way through this movement. If you have no idea exactly what I'm talking about, hey, Google is a good resource. There's a lot of good information. Just make sure you get fully informed about whatever you decide to do. Otherwise, peace out. Have a good night. God bless America. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, just peace out. Later.